Don't be fooled into thinking that I don't realize there are evil women out there. There are, and there are plenty of them, and most of them are your successful women, and some are not so successful, but still evil. You know, there's evil in male and female worlds. It's no difference. But the male has always been in charge. And like I explained with Leona Helmsley, she might have been so-called evil, but she lived in a pool. She swam in a pool of sharks, and the sharks were all male, and they created her, and they created the monster that she was. You know, and she did a great service for women. Really, she showed that a woman can do the things she did and get away with it. A long time ago, if she did those things, she would have been strung up on a tree. So she did prove a lot of things. Like Martha Stewart proved a lot of things. That you can be self-made. That you can do a lot of things. Making Christmas decorations or Easter decorations. You can make an empire. She did that. She stayed within a womanly world, which is cooking and gardening, and still made herself a billionaire. And she's a rotten person, but that's only because she lives in a rotten world that created her, and she had to be a rotten person to survive. I know she appears nice, but I think she's evil as hell when it comes to, if you talk to her privately or if you got to see the real side of her. And that evil side is what kept her going and what made her what she is. If she was nice, she would have been swallowed up like a guppy. She'd never be a billionaire. So I understand, yes, there are evil women, but they're created the products of their environment, and because all the other women had no power, had no control, these were just the cream rising to the top in the woman world. And it was evil. Very few nice people, nice women became wealthy. And the famous ones, some of them became wealthy because they were nice. And that was rare. That wasn't typical. So I don't really talk too much about actors and actresses because it's not real. It's about filling the character role and playing the character that's written for them. It's not about them. They didn't write the character that they're playing. They're just playing a role. Whether they do it good or not, it depends on them and depends on the director and and if they do it well, then they get the recognition and they get the awards and all that stuff, and then become like a Meryl Streep or But again, I think Meryl Streep's evil. I think Meryl Streep's very nice, very pretty, and she's a very good actress. Very good actress. I loved her in Devil Wears Prada. I loved her. Wanted to kill her in the movie, but I loved her. But I knew it was just a role that she was playing. And she played it well, and I can't knock her for that. But the problem is she set that standard. That if you want to play in my arena, you have to be a bitch like me. Like Anna Winters. But I don't think Anna Winters has eyes. I've never seen her without her sunglasses on. Like I said before, if you want a simple life, you don't. A simple life is just quick road to the rope. You can't handle a simple life because you spend so much time thinking about your problems, and the more you think about a problem, the more you make it a problem, and the more problem it just snowballs. It just becomes bigger and bigger, And if you broke somebody's heart, like if you cheated on somebody, and you think about it all the time, it just manifests in so many ways. You treat her like shit, You try to treat her like she's more just to justify for cheating on her. I was like, oh, she's a bitch. She deserved me cheating on her. I was right. I cheated on her, but I was right. Kind of crap. But it's all excuses. It's all crap. And that's what we do. We try to justify our negative actions. I smoke pot because everybody else does it. I don't even get high from it, but I smoke it anyway. Because my friend passed it to me and I had to take it from him. So, I know, I lived in these pools. I swam in these pools. I know all about them. I know their ins and outs. I know how you get in the pool. And I know how you get out. And I'm trying to help you get out. And getting out doesn't start by going to the pool ladder and climbing out. No. It starts in your brain, starts in your heart to want to get out. Most people that are in those pools, they don't want to get out. Because they can see over the wall. They know what's on the other side. And they don't want no part of it. But the problem is, what they see is not really what's true. You have to go there to find out, and most of them aren't even willing to try. They want to stay in the pool they're in. The pool is shit, and if you stand in shit long enough, it don't smell. And that's where we're at.